What is Sanatan Dharma? Is Sanatan Dharma the same as Hinduism?
Sanatan Dharma did not start off as a religion in the first place.
To bring out the true essence of the book, we are looking at it in a much larger, universal kind of level that we are looking at the Sanatan Dharma, right? The common person needs a symbol of their faith. One of the things you've mentioned in your book are the various holy books, the Vedas, the Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, the Purans. So, according to you, what is it that they teach? How are they different? What would be the goal in life according to the Sanatan Dharma principles? I recently read this book called The Eternal Law, which talks about the Sanatan Dharma, but about its basic tenets and its principles. So I was absolutely fascinated because I am a practicing Hindu, but I have not read that much formal literature about my religion. So we tracked down the author, Sujata Khanna, and we have her here with us today, and we are going to talk about the book and Sanatan Dharma, but we are not going to go into the ritualistic part of it. We're going to try and keep this as simple as possible, where we talk about its basic tenets and its principles. If you, like me, are always curious to learn something new and you believe that books are an absolute source of opening up new worlds, then this podcast is definitely for you. So before we go over to the author, quickly hit the subscribe button so that I'm motivated and I keep getting you new and original and refreshing content. Thank you so much, and yes, over to you. How are you, Sujata?
I am very, very good.
It's such a pleasure to have you here with us today.
Same here.
And I read your book recently, The Eternal Law, and I think of course the Sanatan Dharma is something where there's an entire ocean of knowledge. Nothing you write is ever enough,
correct,
right?
Yeah.
So we're going to try and talk to you about the book, and all the wisdom in the book. So firstly, what is Sanatan Dharma?
Okay, now Sanatan means eternal, and Dharma is law or order. So Sanatan Dharma translates in English to the eternal law. Now, what is this eternal law? It is a set of principles of existence. Existence as in the universe, and maybe beyond that too, but we don't get into that right now. I will just talk about the existence as we perceive it in the universe. So the principles are with respect to the first cause of the universe. Okay? What is the first cause, or the creative principle of the universe? The second is about the identity, which means identity is required for diversity and individuality. So that is another principle. Okay? The third is causality. Okay. The fourth is space and time in which events occur. So basically these four principles are the ones which constitute the laws of the universe. And this is what Sanatan Dharma is all about. Okay, now if you specifically look at the word dharma, dharma means the law of being of any entity.
Okay.
The law of being.
Okay.
That particular entity.
Okay.
What is it to be that particular entity? Dharma is the law of being of an entity, which is nothing but its most essential nature and the consequent duty that comes from it. Okay? I'll take simple examples. If the essential quality of fire is heat, then its duty will be to provide heat. Or if the essential quality of sugar is sweetness, then its duty would be to impart sweetness, isn't it? Now, based on this principle, even human beings have some dharma. Correct? Now, if human beings have a dharma, what is it that is essential to the nature of a human being? What are those essential qualities? We have four basic qualities that differentiates human beings from other animals. The first is creativity. We have the ability to innovate and transform. Correct? And therefore, we are able to modulate our environments or transform our environments, and it increases our chances of survival as compared to other beings, isn't it? If you're in the cold, you know that you can innovate and create atmospheres which are warm.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Similarly, in the hot, you have the air conditioning and so on. So, these are common life examples. But because creativity is our nature, it is a part of our essential qualities as human beings, our dharma becomes to better the lives of other beings also on
Beautiful.
earth.
Yeah.
Okay? So, that is one thing. The second quality of human beings is communality.
Okay.
Communality is the ability to be social. We live in communities, and it is in communities that we learn, grow, and evolve. We form our relationships. We find a sense of belonging. Right? So, if communality is our nature, essential nature, then automatically it transforms to a duty, which is to create a harmonious society. Correct? So, the second point. The third is collaboration. Human beings have understood that there is mutual benefit in collaborating.
Living together.
Yeah.
Yes.
There is mutual benefit in it. Now, the examples of collaboration in the early ages, you would find that people collaborated for hunting, gathering, and even defense. Yeah. And later, in agriculture, trade. It's not, other beings can't do all these things, right? And of course, the complex civilizations came because of this kind of a collaboration. So, again, from this particular quality, what emerges? A quality of human beings which is cooperation, collaboration. What is the duty that comes about? It is to obviously then collaborate for worldly progress.
Mutual goal.
Mutual
Right.
progress.
Right.
So that becomes one of the dharma or the duties. And lastly, one of the most important qualities of human beings is contemplation. We are able to contemplate. We have the ability of self-awareness. We have intelligence and reasoning, which separates us from other animals, isn't it?
Right.
So we are able to look inwards. We are able to go beyond instinctual responses, right? And take intelligent decisions. We are able to discern our behaviors and bring corrections in it. We are also able to contemplate on certain spiritual aspects of life, question existence, all that. So, because of this quality of contemplation, one of the duties of human beings becomes individual spiritual evolution, because it is believed that individual by individual spiritual evolution will make the entire human race evolve spiritually.
Yeah.
Right? So basically you get these four qualities, the other four C's: creativity, then you have got communality, collaboration, and contemplation. These four unique characteristics of human beings create their dharma or their duties. So dharma is both nature and consequential duty.
Okay.
So that is what Sanatan Dharma is all about. Firstly, as I said, Sanatan Dharma itself means the principles of causality, the principle of identity, then again the first cause, identifying the first cause, and so on, right? Space-time. And apart from that, it is also to assess the human role in this entire creation. So this is what Sanatan Dharma is all about.
Okay, lovely, lovely. It was, it's really nice to get like a basic foundation for our questions, and a basic foundation of all, which is also there in your book.
Yeah.
So one question that comes out of that is Sanatan Dharma the same as Hinduism? Are they or do they mean separate things? Why are they used like interchangeably?
Okay, so Sanatan Dharma did not start off as a religion in the first place, right?
Okay.
It was a framework of speculation. So, being a framework of speculation, there were many schools of thought that emerged thousands of years back, many schools of thought that emerged. And two major groups that evolved were the Astika schools and the Nastika schools. Okay. Now, we have wrongly understood Astika and Nastika as belief in God. That's not what it means. You can be Nastik and you may still have belief in the spiritual. So we have to understand that.
Okay.
Explain. Yes. So Astika schools were the ones who used Vedas as authoritative scriptures. Whereas Nastika schools were the ones who did not hold the authority of the Ved. Okay. So you had a number of schools of thought in the Astika tradition, and in the Nastika tradition you had the evolution of schools of thought like the Buddhist thought, the Jain thought. In fact, we also had Indian materialism, which is the Charvaka thought. Okay. These were all schools of thought, and they all really grew and prospered. One of the major reasons why this happened was that India had a civilizational and philosophical base which was common. And secondly, certain concepts like dharma, karma, moksha, rebirth, they were common themes in all the schools of thought. So there was a philosophical base. So it is the differentiation that happened because of holding Veda as authority or not holding the Veda as authority. That was all. Now around 1000, after 1000 AD, the Buddhist thought started fading in India, and Jainism also became a very slightly socially different, differentiation started happening. And Vedantika and Bhakti movement, these became more prominent, right? So they started coming up more. By the medieval age, Sanatan Dharma came to be associated more or less with Astika schools. Whereas in the past, all the traditions were considered a part of the broader Indian philosophical system. And where debates happened between Astika and Nastika schools. But by the medieval period, Sanatan Dharma started getting associated with Astika schools. And finally, when the British came to India, and then you had the colonial rule, and then they were classifying religions. Because see, religion as a concept is basically a Western concept, isn't it? We believe in philosophical traditions. But now we are Hinduism. We are a religion now because we've been classified so. Right? So when they came in, they classified all the Astika schools as a religion under the banner Hinduism. They added the isms. Right? So you had Buddhism, you had Jainism, and so on. So we were classified then. So yes, today we can say that Sanatan Dharma is interchangeable with Hinduism.
But that's not how it started.
That's not how it started, because it was a tradition of speculation, philosophy.
And we were all under one umbrella, whether you're Astik or Anastik in the past.
We were under one civilizational and philosophical umbrella. Not a religious umbrella.
Yeah, like a school of thought. We all
schools of thought. And there were debates, People had formal debate forums where philosophies were discussed, argued, right? So it was a very open kind of ideological conferences that they used to have.
So what are the core principles of Sanatan Dharma?
When we say Sanatan Dharma, we have defined it as the eternal law. So now we are saying that these are laws which are eternally there. What does Sanatan Dharma philosophy? The word philosophy is important here. Sanatan Dharma, to unravel Sanatan Dharma or to unravel the eternal law, the philosophy explores. The philosophy explores certain principles, right? And they are based on three aspects or three groups of principles. Okay. The first is the metaphysics. Metaphysics includes all the principles of existence. The second is metaethics. the principles of ethics. The third is metapsychology.
Alright.
So if we look at the philosophy, it is based on these three aspects or these three pillars.
Okay.
The first group of principles is the principles of metaphysics,
Okay.
which relate to exploring existence. The second explores ethics. This group is called the principles of metaethics. And the third is the group of metapsychology. So you have your three groups with their principles.
Right.
Now, dharma, karma, moksha, rebirth. These emerge from an interconnection of these three groups of principles.
Okay.
So we will take metaphysics first.
Alright.
Now, metaphysics, the first principle is the principle of the first cause or the cause of the universe.
Alright.
Okay, how did the universe come about? To understand this principle, we simply look at something we already know. That's basic science, which is how I put it in the book because it's easier to understand. You know that perceivable matter, as you see around, whether it's a table, pen, pencil, whatever, it's made up of compounds. Compounds are made up of molecules. Molecules are made up of atoms interacting in various ways. As simple as that. So different atoms like carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, they interact and they form molecules of compounds. Now, atoms have protons, neutrons and electrons. Protons and neutrons are made up of something called quarks. And as of current scientific understanding, these quarks and leptons, okay, electron is a kind of a lepton, so you can say quarks and electrons for convenience. They are the smallest particles of matter as of current scientific understanding.
Okay.
Now this can go on. There is no, human advancements in science. You can come up with, again, smaller particles when you dissect these matters more, and you might discover more and more particles, isn't it? But where does the quest end? At some point, there has to be a substance which has no cause, or the first cause. What is that substance? And this substance has to be causeless and existing eternally. Because if it is the first cause, it will not have any other cause.
Yeah.
And because if it is going to create from there on,
The beginning, yeah.
the other particles are going to come from there, then it has to exist eternally.
Yeah.
And such a substance cannot be material in nature, it has to be spiritual in nature, because if it is material, sooner or later, human beings will
Yeah.
find out
Yeah.
what that is, isn't it? So it has to be something which is beyond human comprehension. So this is where, if we understand it in very simple terms, Sanatan philosophy comes in. And it posits that this first cause is unitary, that means it is singular and purely spiritual. It defines this by the word Brahman. And Brahman means infinite expansion.
Okay.
That which expands infinitely to create particles, objects, people, or the whole of creation. So that substance is called Brahman. And it defines Brahman as the infinite consciousness field, which not just permeates the universe and everything in the universe, it's you, me, objects, okay, it not only permeates the universe and everything created, but it also extends beyond the universe, it transcends the universe. So this is the definition of the first cause, first principle of metaphysics. Now, within metaphysics, again, you have conscious beings discussed. So, what is the Atman or the Atma? The one that makes living beings conscious? It is nothing but the essence of this Brahman in its pure form, in conscious beings. Atman and Brahman are exactly the same substance. Like it's just like water and ocean, a drop of water and ocean waters, both are H2O. In the same way, even your Atman is the same as Brahman. Both are pure existence and pure consciousness. So this is how we define the individual consciousness and the first cause or Brahman.
Okay.
So these two are very important principles. Now we come to the next thing, that is Rut or the cosmic order. Now this is very interesting. Brahman inside the cosmos has been called Ishvara.
Okay.
It is the cosmic consciousness. That consciousness or Brahman operating inside the universe is Ishvara. And Ruta is the cosmic order which is maintained by this cosmic consciousness. All the seasons, you have galactic systems balanced beautifully, right? You have everything that happens in, you have migration of birds and so many other systems which are,
systems of nature.
Yeah, systems of nature. All that is called Ruta. And Ishvara guarantees a rational, law-governed and purposive Rita.
Okay.
So that being the case, the concept of dharma comes in here. Every entity follows its nature and performs its functions seamlessly in Ruta, following its dharma, correct?
Yeah.
If it doesn't, there will be an imbalance.
Yeah.
So the concept of dharma emerges from this cosmic order that is at the cosmic level. The concept of dharma emerges.
Okay.
We did the first cause, we did the individual consciousness, we did Druta. And now the fourth important concept is of causality.
All right.
Or cause and effect.
Okay.
And this causality emerges from Ruta itself. There are three important principles of Ruta. Gati, Sangatana and Niyati. Gati means movement and action of objects in space. Nothing is without action. At the very micro level, the atoms are in continuous motion. Protons, neutrons are in continuous motion. Within them, quarks are also in continuous motion. The electrons are in continuous motion. So that's at a very micro level. At a mega level, planetary movements constantly in motion. In our body, systems are in continuous motion. Even thoughts are always running, isn't it? Yeah. So what is the first principle of Ruta? It is Gati, movement and action of objects. The second principle of Ruta is Sangatana. Sangatana is interaction and mutual influence.
All right.
What does this refer to? It refers to interdependence. And whenever any two objects interact, and when I say object, it could be two beings, it could be a being and a living being and a non-living entity, any two objects, when they interact, there will be consequences. So action and interaction have consequences. So Gati and Sangatana will create the phenomenon of cause and effect. For example, I'll give you an example of Sangatana. You have two atoms coming together, consequence is a molecule. At a larger scale, you have planets in their orbits.
Yeah.
Why do they orbit? Because if a smaller planet comes in
Contact.
proximity to a larger planet, a planet which is moving in a certain direction, it will fly out if the gravity
Of the larger planet.
of the larger planet does not bend its motion and make it orbit around. So what is the consequence of the interaction? It is the orbiting. So have you understood? Gati, Sangatana together create cause and effect.
Right.
And the third precept or the principle of Ruta is Niyati. Niyati is nothing but the rational progression of consequences. So you have action or interaction leading to consequence. Consequences again throw up more actions
And so on.
and interaction and so on. So there will be more
Yeah.
consequences and consequence after consequence and after consequence. The sequence of consequences, that is Niyati.
Okay.
So the concept of karma and karma phala comes from this.
Okay.
Cause and effect or causality is nothing but the law of karma. So at now the cosmic level or at the metaphysical level, we have come up with two important concepts, that is dharma and karma. You wanted to know about dharma and
Yes,
karma.
I did.
So they have emerged from the structure of reality itself.
Okay.
Now this is as far as the metaphysical principles are concerned. I have just touched upon the more important ones. Yeah. Now we come to the meta ethics. Now meta ethics or meta psychology both draw into the metaphysics for creating their principles. Meta ethics again are the overarching ethic, and then At different levels, this ethic is put into rules, regulation, laws, and so on. According to Sanatan Dharma, ethics operates at 3 levels. First is the Adhidaivika level, which is the cosmic level. Second is Adhibhautika level, or the social and material level. And the third is the Adhyatmika level, which is the individual level.
Lovely.
Okay? Your own inner self. So ethic operates at 3 levels. At the first level, that is the cosmic level, we just saw, Ruta. At the cosmic level, what is the core ethic? That is defined.
Okay.
The core ethic is balance, harmony, regulation, order. That is a core ethic. Right? The takeaway is the harmony. It all means the same. Balance ethic is the same as harmony, order, regulation. So that is a core ethic. The same ethic operates at the Adhibhautika level, the ethic of harmony.
Okay.
And how is the ethic of harmony to be put into practice at the Adhibhautika level, the social level? Through dharma, or the laws that structure social conduct and how beings interact with each other, how beings interact with the environment, all that. So there are rules, regulations. So that is dharma operating at Adhibhautika level. And then again the concept of inner balance, harmony, peace, regulation, that comes at the Adhyatmika level.
That is the individual level.
Yes, so it is the same core ethic following. Now at the Adhyatmika level, this translates to being aware of yourself, right? Taking moral agency for whatever you do, conscience, and so on. So all these things come in. So you find that what started through metaphysics, now it is adopted into metaethics, with the core ethic being harmony, balance, order, regulation. Okay. So this is the metaethics. Then micro, you can go into many things, but we are not here to do that. We are here to just look at the overview of Sanatan Dharma principles. Right?
Correct.
Now, the third one which we talked was meta-psychology.
Yeah.
Meta-psychology is about the principles that explore the human mind or the mental landscape. It is the study or exploration of the Antahkarana, or the inner instrument of experience. Antahkarana. The Antahkarana is made up of 4 parts. First is the Manas, second is the Buddhi, third is the Chitta, and fourth is the Ahankara. Manas is the lower mind. It perceives, it gives rise to emotion, and it wills action. Buddhi is the reasoning mind, the intellect. It reasons, imparts wisdom, judges. Chitta is the subconscious memory bank. It contains all imprints of your experiences, of your desires. It's a subconscious playing field of memories, basically. Right? Then you have the Ahankara, or the sense of I. It attaches every experience with
I.
The personal.
Yeah.
It makes the experience its own. So the sense of I. Now let's take an example of how this works. Suppose somebody says something to you. The Manas will decide whether it's a pleasant experience or an unpleasant experience. Now suppose it decides that this experience is unpleasant. This will give rise to emotions.
Okay.
And the Chitta will throw up memories of something that has happened in the past or similar experiences. And Ahankara says, how dare he says this to me? How dare he insults me? Now this has happened. Manas, Chitta, Ahankara complex. It gives rise to impulsive reactions. And your impulsive reaction could be to shout back,
React
or abuse,
yeah.
or to slap. Any of these, right? So this is your karma. The concept of karma comes here.
Yeah.
How your mind works. However, if your buddhi is trained, the role of buddhi is rationality, right? If your buddhi is trained to prevail over ahankara, you will take more rational decisions and you will not take impulsive actions. Right? So the whole psychology revolves around the cultivation of the viveka buddhi. Viveka means discerning intellect. So what kind of karma are you creating? Now we'll take this at a spiritual level. Now this was a mental playing field. When you take it at a spiritual level, all the karma that you have created, It has to have a karma phala. If it does not have in this life, it is going to have the karma phala in the next life. Now, how this operates is, at the time of death, all your imprints of everything that you have done, not just active karma, but your desires or intentions, everything that has not had its phala or fruition, all experience, including your stimulus response patterns. If you have not worked on them and gotten over them, they will also be there. All this is absorbed in the soul at the time of death. And now this is the soul which keeps taking birth again and again and again to fulfill the karma phala. So we have now covered dharma, we have covered karma. Now you wanted to know about moksha and
Rebirth. Yeah.
Okay. So this soul which is now going to take birth again and again and again, it will get moksha only when its karmika consequences are settled. Its karmika account is settled. So over many births and spiritual evolution, when the samskara or the imprints, all these imprints which are there on the soul, they are called samskara. When all these samskara are dissolved, your karmika account is settled. It is that time that you are liberated from samsara, because till such time those samskara are there, those imprints on the soul are there, you're going to keep coming back. So we have covered moksha and rebirth. I've put it very simplistically. But you have to understand that all these things have to be seen from the metaphysical, meta-ethical and the meta-psychological level, because dharma, karma, moksha, rebirth, they are all
the four basic
coming
principles.
from all these three aspects of existence.
Beautiful. I think there's so much to think about, This is something that, you maybe one doesn't get it instantly. You probably need to mull over it, and,
But
that's
have
when...
you understood what I have said? Because I know it is a bit too much, but it makes a lot of sense, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's I think that was also the intention when we had this podcast, right? To bring out the true essence of the book. We are looking at it in a much larger, universal kind of level that we are looking at the Sanatan Dharma, right?
Correct.
We're not getting into the nitty-gritties of it. We're looking at it at a spiritual, universal, larger level.
We are not looking into worship practices, because that is not the objective of Sanatan Dharma philosophy. The objective of Sanatan Dharma philosophy has always been exploration of existence and the human role in this whole scheme of things. Right? That has been the thing. And of course then humans always need something to rely upon, worship. So then this cosmic consciousness or Brahman's cosmic presence is referred to as Ishvara. We give it form in our minds. We give it the best possible form, because that is where our imagination goes. Because what is Brahman? Brahman is Anadi, Ananta, Nirakar, Nirguna, Nirmohi. What does it mean? Anadi, without beginning. Ananta, without end. Nirakar, it's formless. Nirguna, it is attributeless. Nirmohi, it is unattached. So this formless thing, this massive, or I would say unimaginable presence, which is everywhere around us, we are in that consciousness field right now.
Yeah.
And it is inside us, it permeates us. It is very difficult to worship something like this without having a sense of physicality, because we are physical beings. So then we conceptualize it in the best way we can. We call it Purushartha, or the best of the Purusha, and we give him all the best attributes. Now I'm saying the word he because now we are talking about Ishvara in the Murta Swarup. We give it attributes, we give it beauty, the best of the Purusha. Right? And then we worship it. Because it is easy to focus on a physical object. And that's how worship traditions come about.
Right.
So it is not a part of philosophy. It is a part of the worship traditions, which are obviously based on the principles of existence. But for a common man, all these things can't be taught. For them to have faith that they will overcome obstacles, or there is something bigger than them. They need to have an object of focus. And this is where worship practices come in.
I guess the common person needs a symbol of their faith or
Yes.
symbol of their belief.
Yes,
Or,
yes.
Yeah.
But Sanatan Dharma that way is very open about what image you want to worship. I mean, it
Yes.
could be
Yes,
a
we
Shivling
have.
and it could be a
Hanumanji,
statue of
could be
Vishnu,
anything,
or
yeah.
it could be anything.
Yeah, it could be.
Right? And we have deities which come even from, because Hindus believe that Brahman permeates everything. So everything is divine.
Hmm.
Right? So even forces, cosmic forces, you have the sun, you have air,
Yeah, air.
all of them are worshipable, and as a result of which all of them are given personalities, and they're given personalities and then they're worshipped. Even Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, they are what? They are the facets, functional facets of Ishvara.
Yeah.
Creation, sustenance, dissolution. So we give it personality, and then we worship it.
Then it
It's
moves.
like that. Shakti.
Mm.
What is Shakti? Ishvara's potency or power is called Shakti.
It's called Shakti.
Yeah, and
which
then we
man-
revere it as a
Yeah,
female goddess.
Yeah.
So all these things.
Yeah.
It's really fantastic. But if you really get down to the bottom of it, if you understand what you're doing, then you can worship anything. Now, I personally like to have Ganpati in the house during Ganesh Chaturthi.
So one of the things you've mentioned in your book are the various holy books, the Vedas, the Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, the Purans. So according to you, what is it that they teach? How are they different? And what is your perspective on that?
We begin with the Ved first. The Ved are four compendiums of literature, spiritual literature. You can call them scriptures. The first is the Rig Veda, the second is the Sama Veda, the third is the Yajur Veda, and the fourth is the Atharva Veda. Now, each of these Veda is made up of 4 parts, each of them. The first part of every Veda is the Samhita. The Samhita is hymns, there are mantra, chants, okay, and they contain philosophical truths. The second part of any Veda is the Brahmana, which are the prose explanations of the Samhita. The third are the Aranyaka. They are the mystical philosophical treatises which were written by people who had retreated to forests for their contemplation.
Okay.
So that is why they are called Aranyak. And lastly are the Upanishad. Upanishad are purely philosophical treatises which have been derived from the Samhita.
Okay.
It is the Upanishads which are the culmination of all the knowledge of a particular Ved, and that is why the Upanishad is also called Vedanta. So you have Upanishads under the Rig Veda, under the Yajur Veda, under the Sama Veda, under the Atharva Veda. You asked about Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita is a compact teaching of the Upanishads. So how do you use it? Read the Bhagavad Gita. Initially you might find it a little difficult, but then you have to use explanatory notes, references to understand the concepts in it, because that is the most accessible of the scriptures that are available. And there are some very good modern writers who will give you the basic concepts, right? Explain the concepts that are there. Now, for example, my book, it will have all the necessary base required to understand the Bhagavad Gita very well. And there will be others also, other writers also. So for any person who wants to get into it, get a good derivative book,
Okay.
right, which will explain concepts to you. Then based on the concepts, you can pursue reading the Bhagavad Gita and get even a better feel of what our scriptures are like. And then you can proceed forward to reading the Upanishads and so on. So, but you need to get started with basics. That is one thing. Now, Purana. The Purana are Indian mythology. The Purana contains stories of gods, demons, kings. And the objective of the Purana is to bring moral lessons to the masses. It will contain traditional lore, it will contain legends. So the Purana are good to impart the ethical instruction to masses. Like if you have Harishchandra story, it teaches you to be honest no matter what, and so on. Also, certain philosophical truths are conveyed. For example, Prahlad and Hiranyakashipu, Bhakta Prahlad and Hiranyakashipu. When the father, who's a tyrant, asks him, "What can your God do?" And Prahlad, who's a devotee of Vishnu, he says, "My God is everywhere and he's all powerful." So Hiranyakashipu asks, "Does this stone pillar also have your Vishnu?" And Prahlad says, "Yes." And Hiranyakashipu kicks the pillar. And what appears is the
divine
Vishnu in the Narasimha avatar, the lion avatar. And of course, the story continues with Hiranyakashipu being killed by Narasimha avatar of Vishnu. But the moral of the story is that the ultimate reality of everything is this God, or philosophically, we never call it God, we call it the ultimate reality of everything is Brahman. But then to the masses, you teach this principle that there is God in everything, because Ishvara is the God equivalent, isn't it? Why the word God is a little, I'm just digressing from the topic.
Absolutely.
See, the Western concept of God is very different from our concept of the ultimate reality and of cosmic consciousness. Ishvara is cosmic consciousness. We give it sakara roop and we worship it. Whereas the concept of God in Western philosophy is very different. It is the creator, it is the one who doles out punishments, and so on and so forth. No? A reward and punishment system. What we have is an inbuilt mechanism of the soul, part of the system. Just like Ruta is governed by Ishvara in an orderly fashion, even your soul is a mechanism which has been put into motion. You do good karma, you get your karma phala. Ishvara doesn't particularly look down upon you or look, very benevolently at you. It's set into motion, the mechanism of the soul, like it is set into motion, all the physical laws of the universe, and that carries on. And it is this cosmic consciousness permeating everything that is orchestrating everything as a supreme controller of everything that it has created. But our God does not actually reward or punish.
Yeah. I think that's a very...
So that's a different thing completely.
Very different thing about Sanatan Dharma.
Yeah.
So, when we are talking about this, and we also spoken about Sanatan Dharma in a much broader universal sense, right? So if I have to put it very simply for a seeker like me, what would be the goal in life then? Is it duty? Is it balance? Is it moksha? What would be the goal in life according to the Sanatan Dharma principles?
Okay. So a seeker is defined as somebody who is actively seeking moksha. Okay. Then the spiritual practice and all come into play. Okay. But if you are a normal person who has a belief in the Sanatan concepts, then Sanatan gives a very beautiful formula for it.
Okay.
And is the formula of Purushartha, or a composite goal. Purushartha is equal to Dharma plus Artha plus Moksha plus Kama. It is the fourfold objective of taking human birth. And if these objectives are optimized, then you will have a fulfilled life. So fulfillment of life is the objective of every human being.
Basic, yes.
Correct?
Yes.
So we'll understand 4 of these and the interplay. Dharma we have discussed in detail, but I will still put it down to you as duty and ethics.
Okay.
Because you're part of a society, you have duty towards the society, and then you have personal duties towards your family, towards your parents, your children, and you also have duty towards yourself. And duty towards yourself would be to follow your swadharma, or your essential nature, okay, in everything that you do. And of course, try to get some kind of spiritual evolution while you're there. So that is dharma. And ethics, again, to deal ethically with society. So dharma is all about duty and ethics. The second is artha. Now, artha is a very, very important component of human existence. Artha means economic or financial wherewithal that is required to lead a satisfied life.
Okay.
Right? It is your career. It is your whatever economic pursuits that you do to earn some money and get it home. Artha is important because financial security is a very, very important part of fulfilling responsibilities towards your dependents.
Yes.
Okay. And secondly, a financially stable and secure society has more harmony in it. So, if you have a deprived society, then you are going to have more crime. How will you walk the path of dharma if your stomach is not full? Right? So, artha is important. It's an important part of being a human being. The third is kama. Kama is sense gratification. And sense gratification is about beauty, about appreciation of the arts, about music. It's about sensual pleasure. You are born human and you are given the senses to use and gratify, and so you must. And it is also your duty to gratify somebody else's senses if you are taking the responsibility of getting married and starting a family. So that has been given to you. So kama, that must be satisfied. And lastly, the overarching principle or the goal of human life is to move towards moksha. Why do I say move towards? Because everybody is not a spiritual seeker, but there are people who have to evolve, okay, life after life. So to gradually move towards spiritual evolution, and that is the pursuit of moksha.
Okay.
Now, how they balance each other. Artha and kama are important pursuits, but if they are not controlled by dharma, then they can run amok. So, excessive kama, excessive artha, okay, can make you depraved. Okay, so you need a
Balancing factor.
Yeah, you need a controlling factor of dharma. You have to do everything in the dharmika way, which means ethics. Ethically, understand that spiritual evolution that we are looking for, it cannot come through if you are not slowly getting detached from whatever you desire to do, right? We have to get rid of our samskaras for moksha, and it's not going to be possible in just one life. Your soul evolves over lifetimes to ultimately achieve moksha, and it is a belief in Sanatan Dharma that every soul ultimately has to reach moksha. The life cycle of a soul has to end sometime, right? So it might take many births. Different souls are at different stages of evolution. So if we have knowledge of Purushartha, we know that yes, we have been given human birth to enjoy this beautiful world through our senses. Otherwise, why would you be given this birth? Life is all about, from birth to death, life is only about experience. You come into this world, you experience the world, and then you check out. So, you have been given this life to do so. So, artha and kama are important, but they are not the bigger goal. The bigger goal is to evolve and move towards, spiritually evolve and move towards moksha. And dharma plays a very big role in controlling these, optimizing this. So, Purushartha is the optimization of these four: dharma, artha, kama, and moksha.
Okay. That was very beautifully explained, and the interconnection also between them. And I think it's very rarely that we talk about Sanatan Dharma in the broader sense. We normally get so kind of bogged down with the nitty gritty of it that this knowledge somewhere, which is what the intent was, doesn't always come out.
Correct.
So that was absolutely lovely, and thank you so much. And I really enjoyed your book, The Eternal Law. So we did manage to give the viewers a little sneak peek about it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this conversation. We were talking about literally the metaphysics of Sanatan Dharma, and it was completely eye-opening for me. And if you'd like to know, like me, know more about the world's oldest surviving religion, then I'm sure you enjoyed this podcast, and you can check out the book The Eternal Law as well. And we have a gift for you from one of our sponsors. There's this brand called Arc Oil, which is a cold pressed oil brand based out of Pune, and yes, we have a small hamper from them to you.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed being here and talking to you.